Right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another race at Rush Racing League. This time it's round 2 at the Hungarian Grand Prix, Division 2. I am your host and commentator, SJ, and I'm joined in the comments box by my favourite American friend, Regus.
Hello, SJ, and once again, I want to welcome everybody to Rush. We're here, Division 2, Hungary. A very different track from what we raced at last time out in Monza. It is a 14-corner track, 2.722 miles, or 4.381 kilometers. It's a very different track to Monza. It's a lot more high downforce. So we're going to see a complete setup 180, essentially, where Monza's more low downforce, high speed. This track is a lot more of the opposite. Higher downforce, but you get a lot more effective DRS. And we had an absolutely stellar race in Division 4. Aston Martin and Mercedes battling it out, but with Aston Martin, with Master Stark taking the win in Div 4. But before we get on to the race, we have full qualifying. And before we get to full qualifying, I just want to ask, how are you feeling, SJ?
Yeah, feeling good, mate. Obviously, did do the Division 4 race earlier, and it's pretty tough. It's a track where, you know, if you're on full traction and controller and automatic, then you're going to struggle, especially in Sector 2. But it was good fun, and he got points in the end. But like you said, I 100% agree with you. This track is completely different to Monza. A lot smaller. And a little bit more technical as well, and it's going to be very interesting to see full quality implemented with Division 2 tonight. So I will jump into the paddock and we'll get this show on the road. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Division 2 tonight. Sponsored by AI369. Thank you very much for your support, continuing support. Also our other sponsors as well of Speed Nation, Pagnin and SimLab. Morning to you as well, Rose Cons, mate. Hope you're having a great morning wherever you are. It's absolutely chucking down rain here in lovely NZ. But this is our good tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So we've got a few changes, which is always good to see. We should have a full grid. There is a few that we're waiting on at the moment, so hopefully we do get them in. If not, then it is what it is, unfortunately. But let's have a look. We've got Midas Miller in the first up we've got Dale Beard, who's just done the fastest lap of a 1:15.317, and then we've got Midas Miller in the Haas, who is a new driver, but I did say to the other guy in the reserve program the other week, J-Man, that Midas is actually a returning driver, driven with him from the get-go, from when I started sim racing. So really good to have him on the track and back with us in Rush Racing League. We've got Dante in the Ferrari, we've got XPG Sem, who had a fantastic performance last week in Monza. Can he do the same again? We'll have to wait and see. We've got Sprine Apples in the kick. We've got Watanabe, who reserved up last night, and he's doing it again today, but in his original division. So I'm sure he's got some serious pace around here. We've got Limitless Draco as well. Then we've got Lamb. We've got Darken that's just joined us, which is really good to see. We've got Yuki Bear in the Haas. As unfortunately his teammate Halo is not here tonight, and TP Arcade Gaming, I think he's reserving up from Division 3, so we wish him all the best and good luck. With Matif in the kick, Saber reserving for Illyrian, and he is reserving up from Division 3. Aiden is raining in the Alpine, JDMI, Thunder in the Merc, Oscar Piastrigo in the Merc, One Truth in the Alpine, and Shifty Wizard in the Williams. Not a bad lineup tonight.
Indeed, yeah. I mean, a lot of these drivers, we have seen them have some very solid pace. I mean, Sam had some insanely good pace last time out when we were at Monza. Had really good performances in both the sprint and the feature race. Currently on top of Division 2 driver standing. Very good result from him. So we'll see if he can keep it up. Like we talked about a lot earlier, Hungary is a lot different compared to Monza. So we'll see if he's more of a top speed specialist or if he's good at various types of tracks. Because consistency is what's going to win you the championship.
Yes, it is. It's going to be very, very interesting to see how this is going forward. We've just got what's going on to me. I did silence, but I'm getting ignored. Boy, boy, mate, I'm in a stream. I can't do much at the moment, mate. You're going to have to wait until the end of the stream. But here is the link. Mate, I can't obviously get straight onto it, mate. Unfortunately, I'm in a stream, so you will get you sorted, ready for next week or for the rest of the races. But we need to send in your times. I'm sure one of the directors or someone in the background can sort you out if you've just jumped in. So just bear with us, mate. We will get it all sorted. Do not worry, mate. You will not miss out. You will miss out on this race, but you won't miss out on the others if we get you in on time. So let's have a look. Well, full quality around here going to be very interesting, isn't it? A track which is going to be full of cars, so you've got to time it at the right time. Otherwise, if you don't, you can be knocked out very easily. From experience, from this from Division 4, I was knocked out, so I know how it feels. So, what's your thoughts on how quality is going to go in Q1 around here?
Now, quality is going to be very important around here. I mean, timing is everything, like you mentioned, and there's not really, unlike Monster, there's not really a whole lot of places to get a solid slipstream. The start finish straight would be probably the best place to get a good slipstream, as Oscar Piastri will go atop the timetables in that Mercedes with a 1:14.551. I mean, getting a tow from your teammate at the start might be a good option. But yeah, it's definitely going to come down to just who gets their timing right when it comes to qualifying. The track is going to get rubbered in as more cars go out, so the track is going to get a bit of grip here. Now, something that was kind of talked about during the Division 4 qualifying stream is that you don't have a whole lot of medium tires available to you on this track. So if you burn too many mediums in this first qualifying session, you might just be kind of stuck out of luck if there's a safety car going into the main race. So unlike Monza, where we saw a lot of the laps just being done on that medium tire, we're going to see a lot of the soft air compounds being run more. But yeah, I think Hungary being such a technical track, lots of different elevation changes and lots of tricky corners, you just got to get it perfectly. Now, I think it's probably going to be a battle between. I'm just going to say his name because now he just got top of the timetable. I'm going to say it's going to be between Dante, Piastri, Sem, and Watanabe for pole position here today.
Yeah, no, it's looking good at the moment. Obviously, a couple of guys on the soft compound tyres at the moment of Dante and Oscar Piastri. Obviously, Sem on those mediums, a 1:14.6 to 1:14.3. So 3 temps off at the moment from the soft to the mediums. Yeah, the track is going to warm up. It is absolutely glorious sunshine out there, which is really good to see. Obviously, got the two McLarens in P6 and 7. Obviously, MJ running in the pits at the moment. Still 9 minutes to go, though. Still plenty of time. But it's from 10 all the way down to 18. Still not setting times at the moment. But I'm going to get you to jump on board with. We'll go with Limitless Draco. So it's all over to you, Rekus. Take us on board a flying lap with Limitless.
All right, so the Red Bull of Limitless Draco, a very rapid driver, he's going to go ahead and begin his first lap. Now, turn 1 is a very tricky corner. It's easier to manage in the qualifying than the race. Turn 1 is a corner where you see a lot of chaos, but he gets through absolutely perfect. He's coming up to the second and only DRS zone, so the DRS zones are very early on this track. He's making a good time, going around these corners very, very nicely. As he comes up to probably one of the trickiest little chicanes on the track. It is a purple sector 1 for the Red Bull. Very good stuff there from Limitless Draco. And he is just absolutely hammering these corners with perfection. You got to take a little bit of curve there, but not too much to overly unsell the car. He manages to get through there very, very neatly. It's a very clean and very solid sector 2 here at the moment as he gets ready to begin sector 3. Not quite a purple, but still a very decent sector time. He's only got about 2 more corners to navigate here. Through set the hairpin, which can make or break your lap time. Let's see how he goes. He's got 1 more corner to navigate. He comes around the final hairpin around turn 14. Using a good amount of curve, we'll see where his time sits. And it's good enough for top of the timetables with a 1:14.366. And that is an astounding time there from Limitless Draco.
Yeah, no, fantastic lap there as well. We've got Yuki Bear as well. I'm going to just jump on board with Yuki Bear. So coming down the main straight, we're going to go for a flyer with a Haas driver in Yuki Bear coming into the first corner here. You want to be jumping onto the brakes a little bit early and then try and hook that right-hander, get it onto the curb on the exit, and then using a little bit of ERS going into turn number 2. So here we go. Let's have a look. Keeping very, very close to the left-hand side. Not riding that curb as much as you want to. Pushing over to the left, riding the curb on the right. Now coming up the hill, burning a little bit of ERS. You either want to ease off the acceleration or you want to try and just drop down a gear and get as much speed as you can up through the hill, coming through this chicane now, because it's very easy to invalidate going up that hill in Sector 2. Now you've got the chicane here, nice there, onto the curbs, nicely done. We have a retirement from Oscar Piastri Goat, which is really unfortunate. I think that is around about the Sector 2 area, so that's really unfortunate. But we are still on board with Yuki Bear, still not bad so far. Still keeping over to the left. Purple in Sector 3, coming up in the last couple of corners, riding a lot of the curves there on those exits. Going into the nice hairpin. This is the worst hairpin of the game, and we'll have to wait and see what happens here. Pushes over to the left, getting as close to the wall as you can. Get as much traction, get enough acceleration. Going across the line, and it's a 1:14.751, puts himself in the P6, but we've lost one retirement already of Oscar Piastri Goat. And Limitless Draco has already retired, so he's very happy with his time. But 5 minutes to go, and we've lost one already. Rickers.
Yeah, so I was looking at the race director, and it's terminal damage for the Mercedes of Oscar Piastri Goat. So he lost it in Sector 2 somewhere. I saw yellow on my track map. That is around, I want to say that was going into turn 5, the hairpin in Sector 2. So he must have just either missed his braking zone altogether or had some kind of technical problem, because that was where his car ended up retiring at. So that is definitely not an ideal qualifying session for him. Mercedes is currently on top of the Constructors Champion for Division 2. So that is definitely not the race start that Mercedes would want. And this is not an easy track to overtake on compared to Monza. Monza, there are so many good spots for overtaking. This track, the overtaking spots are few and far between. Pretty much the best spots to overtake are within the 2 DRS zones. So run up to turn 1, and then going into turn number 3. Those are really your best spots to overtake. So very unfortunate there for the Mercedes, but we're seeing some very consistent times here from these drivers, from P1 all the way to P9, being in the 114. But yeah, right now, pretty much everybody in the drop zone, with the exception of Piastri Goat, is just yet to set a time. So I'm sure we're going to see the timetables move quite a bit in the closing stages of Q1.
Yeah, 4 minutes to go. Still plenty of time. Still got a few cars still to set times here. Lamb, JD My Thunder, the One Truth, and Shifty Wizard. Shifty Wizard now coming round into P18. What's the time going to be? It's a 1:14.612. Pushes himself up into P4. They're very, very impressive time there. We've also got Lamb as well, the other Williams driver. See what he can do. But double Ferrari at the top. So really good job there by the Ferraris. Doing an absolute stellar job there, which is, yeah, really good to see. But so far, so good. It's going to be very interesting with 3 minutes to go. Who is going to go out of Q1? We'll have to wait and see, as XD Lamb is now coming around the corner. And he goes 1:18.368. So he's going to go again. He's not happy with that time. He's going to have one last shot here. This could be serious problems for the Williams driver of XC Lamb. If he does not get this right, he could be out very early on, which is a big driver going out very early stages in Q1 of this track. Riggers.
Yeah, indeed. We know XD Lamb is a very solid driver, very quick, very rapid. He makes that Williams move. Currently P7 in the driver's standings. He'll want to improve that here, but he's going to need a good qualifying to actually make that happen. We know XD Lamb is extremely rapid. We've seen him for several seasons. He is extremely quick, but he's got some time. He could probably do about another 2 laps, I would say, but the question is, does he have enough tire life and DRS to make it stick? He just set a purple sector 2, though, so he is definitely improving, but he locks up the brakes there, starting the, as you quoted, the worst hairpin in the entirety of the game. He's coming down to the last corner now. We'll see if his time is going to improve. That purple sector 2 is anything to go by. It will be an improvement, and it's good enough for P6. So he is out of the drop zone. So pretty much now, the last few cars in the drop zone, we have Aiden, Whip, Howard Kwan, who is another new driver making his debut today, and then JDI, which the last two have yet to set a lap, as Darkin retires from the session.
Yeah, 146 to go, and it's changed up again. We saw the double Ferrari at the top, and now we're seeing the kick and the McLaren. 1:13.982. That is a very impressive time there. So we'll have to see how we go here in roller at the moment. But yeah, no, a very good time so far. Is roller on a lap? We'll have to wait and see. It looks like we could be losing. I think we lose three. I think in division in if there's 19 on the grid, we'll have to wait and see here at the moment. But we are coming closing to the closing stages of Q1, and we'll have to wait and see what happens here. And I will get Rickers to put those guys in the chat in Division 2 or in general when we get going, so we can get them into the comms box on whoever they are at the moment. But at the moment, it's 56 seconds to go, and we've still got two guys to set time. So Powertramp is going to set his time. We'll have to see what he can do. And we've got JDI Mr. Thunder in that Merc reserving tonight for Mr. Inc., who is not here. And we've seen the Mercedes doing so well so far, but at the moment, not the best. We've got one down in P19 and one out of this race. So, yeah, things can change very, very quickly, can't they, Regis?
Indeed, yeah, especially with so many drivers on a flying lap at the moment. Yeah, this whole grid can switch up. And, I mean, typically with a 19 car grid, we are going to lose the bottom four. So from P16 all the way down to P19, we're going to drop. We're going to actually lose another one with Oscar Piastri Goat, unfortunately having a Mercedes missing a few parts from what I've heard. So his qualifying is done as well. But yeah, it's time's up. But JDI is setting a purple sector 2 for the Mercedes. So this might be an improvement. We might see him rocket up the times table. We'll see where he goes. He's got the last corner. Power Swan is the only other car that does not set a time. His time is good enough for P7 for Mr. Thunder there. And Power Swan, he'll set a time, but it's not good enough. So he is out qualifying.
Yeah, that's very, very unfortunate as well. But he's done his best. He's jumped in. He's tried to get in as quick as he can. And he's done a 1:15.199. So, yeah, unfortunately, they are out. Powertran, Aiden's Raiden, and with, I think, Anna Watanabe are out of Q1, which is unfortunate to see. I think Dynasty might be putting them in, actually. I think he might be just... there you go. He's already onto it. Well done, Dynasty. Good job, mate. Good job. And we're just missing one thing, Dynasty. Just one thing we're missing, mate. Hang on. I can't even find it myself. We're missing the most important thing, so they know where they're going, Rekus, is... Oh, hang on. 2-6. Is the Discord link. So they know where to go, where the comms box is. Oh, he's already done it as well. Look, he's on to it. All right, well, there you go. XPG, Sem in P1. And then we've got Dale Bibbs and Roller. They are your top three. Then we go to Limitless, Draco, Dante Darkin, Sprite Apples, Lamb, JD My Thunder, Shifty Wizard, RK Gaming, Miners Miller, One Truth, and Yuki Bear. Oscar Piastrigo, unfortunately, DNF'd in quali. Wanton Navy out. Winter Myth with Matif is out. Aiden's Rain is out. Power Tram all out of Q1. And look at that. 113, but every single other driver is in the 14s. How impressive is that, Regis?
That is very impressive. We'll just have to see if that performance keeps up, because you know how things are with qualifying. You can have a stellar time in Q1, but Q2 rolls around it and just can't string a lap together, and then you're out in Q2 despite topping the times in Q1. And while we go ahead and wait for these drivers to get on track, the first and so far only person that we have in the commentary box for interviews is Whiff. Now, Whiff, not the best qualifying for you, so just walk us through what happened there.
Yeah, obviously I'm just a Div 3 driver, driving up to Div 2. But yeah, I'm not too great at this track, not good at quali. I was on standby thinking both of the kick drivers would turn up, but they didn't, so I was called up very last minute. No practice, that's why I tried to go on the mediums towards the start, but yeah, didn't go very well.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. But I mean, hey, there's only so much you can do when you get thrown into the cockpit in the last minute. So I mean, you're doing what you can, and I have a good amount of faith that you'll go ahead and pick up some spots, despite Hungary not being the easiest thing. But, yeah, best of luck to you in the race, and I'll hand you over to the governor.
Thanks, mate.
Hey, Riff, how you going, mate? Obviously, not the way to go. Obviously, you got one of your drivers, which has just gone through, who seems very impressive in quali. What's going to be the strategy here? Obviously, we've seen the mediums; they really do not last here. Is it a hard, medium, hard, or hard, medium, medium, or medium, hard, medium? Like, what's your pick?
Well, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a dry race. So yeah, I'll see what Sam is doing, and I'll kind of just do the opposite. It'll either be hard, medium, medium, hards, but depends on safety cars and stuff like that.
You pretty confident that we're going to see a safety car here?
Judging by Div 4, which was earlier, I hope to see at least one. But yeah, I know these guys they have pretty good race pace and racecraft as well. So I'd be surprised if we see two or more.
Well, look forward to seeing what happens in the race, mate, and good luck in the race tonight.
Thanks, mate.
Okay. All right, we've got our next person that's jumped into the comms box. Watanabe. Obviously, last night, mate, you obviously had a go in Division 1. Pretty good result, which is really, really good. But tonight, unfortunately, not the best going out in Q1. What went wrong?
You know me, qualifying, it's not my strong suit for sure.
We're going to be having this conversation a lot this season, then.
Yeah,
I don't want to put a
will.
downer on it. I'm trying to give you some confidence, like boost that Aston Martin morale, because at the moment your team is done really, really well from the opener. But obviously, again in Q1, what do you think you're doing wrong?
I think both my laps I was pushing and just invalidated, so I had to recoup ERS, go again. My first run, the banker wasn't a very good lap. And then my second lap, I was up by about 4/10, so I think I would have made Q2, but then I just invalidated that lap as well. So yeah, I don't know, not a big fan of Hungary either, it's a pretty stinky track, so yeah, I don't know. My race pace is much better than my quali pace, so just gotta wait until the race now.
What do you think you can do differently? Because obviously you obviously raced yesterday, which was a completely different track, but what do you think you can do differently from your quali in your race to get some maximum points tonight?
Just stay within the track limits. Picking up no penalties is the goal. I think the track limits here they're pretty tight, really easy to pick up a warning, so never know, could be a late safety car, everyone has penalties. Just have to see what happens.
Okay, well, wish you all the best. And I'll pass you over to Rigus.
Hello, Watanabe. How are you doing tonight? Like SJ mentioned, not the greatest qualifying for you, but you have also said on numerous occasions that qualifying is not your strong suit. So, are you going to go on more of a aggressive tire strategy, considering you'll be starting farther back, or are you going to try to play the endurance game and just go on, say, like a hard tire and just try to make that last as long as possible until a potential safety car?
Well, I do have a lot of tires to play with now for the race, so I think I haven't really decided yet. Medium hards is I think that's the best strategy, but starting further back, hards might not be too bad because they seem to last a while, so yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, we know Hungary can be quite the tire muncher, similar to that of Barcelona and Zandvoort. So we know the hard tires, and in this game in general, we know the hard tire is very strong. Sorry, I got distracted because on my screen there's a Haas that's face first in the wall, missing an entire front wing.
No, yeah, I just saw that.
Yeah, minus.
But anyways, I wish you the best of luck. We know you have good race pace, and we'll see what happens on track tonight.
Alright, cheers, thanks lads.
Cheers, mate. All right, well, we're not going to get the other ones in, I don't think, unfortunately. So we'll just go over a little bit of a recap of them. Obviously, Piastri Goat looked like it was a DNF. That's unfortunate. And very unfortunate for a driver of his capabilities because he's normally pretty good in qualifying. So to go out very early on is obviously something wrong that he doesn't agree with the car, doesn't like the track. What's your thoughts there for Piastri Goat? It's a strange one, isn't it, to go out in Q1?
Yeah, Piastri go. I mean, like you said, he's a rapid driver, and I mean, it was just unfortunate. I mean, it's an interesting spot to lose it. Can't say I've seen many cars lose it there at turn 5. Just it'll be interesting to see if he can make a comeback. He will be starting from P15. He is currently 3rd in the driver standings at the moment. So he's in a good spot championship wise, but if he wants to stay there with his teammate and more importantly help Mercedes to remain on top of that constructors table, then he's gonna have to make up places. But it is still very unfortunate to see the rapid Oscar Piastri goats out in Q1.
Yeah,
Even though he had a time good enough for Q2.
oh yeah, definitely. And then also Aiden's Raiden as well, who's got some serious pace. And unfortunately, his teammates made it through. One Truth, who's now on the lap now, just about to start his lap. But yeah, really unfortunate for him as well. And obviously, Powertrain, we probably a bit difficult for him. He obviously jumped in very late. Got involved in the Aston as well, and still had a good time. It was only a 10th out from obviously from last, but obviously it's going to be an uphill struggle for him starting from the back. Will be very interesting to see what these strategies these guys are going to go with that have been knocked out in Q1. Rigus.
Indeed. And also jumping into, because I think he jumped in from the stream from Div 4 and got set up, unless I'm thinking of somebody completely different. But even then, your first race inside of Rush into what is arguably probably the most, if not one of the most competitive divisions in the entirety of this league, being Div 2 with so many rapid drivers. I mean, even being as close as he was, that's a pretty good improvement for someone just jumping in for the first time on this extremely hard track in this extremely competitive division. So I have a lot of respect for Powertrain. He made an effort, and we'll just have to see how it translates to the race because he is a complete unknown at the moment. So he might be like Watanabe, where qualifying not so great, but his actual race pace is legendary. So he'll be one to keep an eye on for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously, these times are really starting to ramp up now. Obviously, the track is really starting to ramp up as well. So that's why we are seeing some quick times there. We saw a 113 earlier on in Q1. We're seeing a 113 again from Q2. Don't know if there was a toe there from the Ferrari. We'll have to wait and see. But 113.425 is a very, very impressive time. Limitless Draco, though. Has he DNF Regus, or is that a retirement in track? Just want to just double check there. Because if that is, then unless he thinks he's pretty, happy with that time with 5 minutes to
Yeah,
go.
just looking at it, it looks like from what I'm thinking, it isn't. I've heard referred to as an ego retirement. So it is not a DNF. It's not a repeat of what happened to Oscar Piastri Goat. It is a retirement on his own accord. His car is still in one piece, as far as I know. The race directory does have 2 incidents, but neither one involves him. So yeah, I think he's just decided to be really safe. Not possible, but it is very risky, especially with 5 minutes left to go. And you saw in Q1 how rapidly things changed from like that 5 minute mark down to the checkered flag in Q1. So is it risky? Yes. Will it pay off? Also maybe. So we'll just have to see how everything goes, especially now that we are down to less than 5 minutes remaining.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be very interesting. We had 50 people tuning in tonight. Let's try and beat the record last week. We got 69 last week. It was a very, very great opener to this season with Monza, but we've got some serious times at the moment coming through. And I talked about 45. We've just got 50 coming back in. So great to see. Love the support still. We've got an outlap there from Midas Miller, which I'm going to get you to jump on board with, and I'll let you take this one away with Midas Miller down there in the house.
All right, so Midas Miller in the house, making the run up to turn 1. Braking is going to be very important on this corner. He locks up the front right ever so slightly, but it's good enough to make that car just swing out of the corner. Absolutely perfect. Going into turn number 2, he's got it good. Let's see, he's making the run up to begin sector number 2. We'll see if that's a purple or not. Not quite a purple. Still a good sector time nevertheless. Now, this is the corner we saw Oscar Piastri go lose it on in Q1. He keeps it out of the wall and keeps it within the white line. These curves can easily update your car. It looks like he has a little bit of a wiggle there on that chicane through corners 6 and 7. And it's an invalidated lap. He got a little too wide there on the exit of turn 9. And that is Midas's lap done. He still has a chance to make another go at it, but that would have been a really good lap to have.
Yeah, definitely. It's unfortunate there. We've got one of the Hasses in P9 at the moment who's in the pits, and then we've got the other one in P13. We've also got JD Mai on P14 in the pits at the moment. So the people that are looking to get eliminated is JD Mai, Midas, Lamb, and RK Gaming. Obviously, these three guys of Lamb, RK, and Naples all on laps ready to go. Who is on a lap at the moment that's just about to finish up? Let's have a look. Shifty's just about starting in his. We've got, looks like NJ Roller is just about to finish it. So let's see what he's got coming around the last couple of corners. It's him and his teammate, P6 and 7, consistency in the McLaren at the moment. So let's have a look. Coming around the last corner, is he going to improve? Is he not going to improve? Let's have a look here. He's not got long left. And he goes P2 with a 13.992. Wow, good time. Still not off the back of Dark, and that time is going to be extremely difficult to beat, it looks like it. But MJ Roller looks like he could be free through there with a 13.992. Sem as well, he's decided to retire. He's called it as well, so we'll have to wait and see. Let's have a look and see how we go. We've got Midas as well. We've got a few guys actually still on laps, and we've got Midas now coming around. 1 minute 55 wreckers. So these 4 at the bottom really need to push now.
Indeed, especially if you're JDI, because honestly, I think JDI might just be running. He might already be out of time at this point to get an outlap done and actually get a lap going. Well, he's starting an outlap now, so it's going to be kind of get pretty close. I think he'll make it, but these drivers really need to push. We're seeing some very rapid drivers potentially drop out in Q2. Could be very, very surprising. So let's see who we got. Spry is about to finish up a lap. I believe RK is even closer to finishing up a lap. We'll see where he goes. It's good enough. It's a half a second improvement. He's up to P8. Good time there for the Red Bull. How about the sugar-free Red Bull? Where's that car going to go? He's coming across the line. Is it going to be improvement? Not in the slightest. 3 seconds off. He'll have to go again. Shifty, or sorry, not Shifty, wrong Williams. XD Lamb is on an improvement there. He was about a 10th faster coming into sector number 2. The Williams is making extremely good progress there. But we'll see if it's enough to get him out of the drop zone. 38 seconds left on the clock. It's a purple sector 2. He's up 6.5 tenths exactly. So as long as he doesn't invalidate on these last 2 corners, this is definitely going to be a good time to get him up a few positions, possibly out of the drop zone. We'll see where the Williams goes. We've got one more corner. He keeps it within my line. 6 and get him out of curve.
Oh,
It's good enough for P4.
Well, there we go. Shifty Wizard has actually retired. He's called it. We'll have to wait and see what happens there. But he's down in P8. He could be in a little bit of trouble here. We're just going to go jump on board with JDMI. Everyone is just about to finish up. So let's have a look here. We've got Arcade Gaming. It looks like he could be out. We're going to jump on board with the other Ferrari of Dante, who is going to cross the line now. Is he going to improve? Yeah, he stays P5. We're going to go back down again. It looks like we're on board with Spry Naples. Spry goes up into P8, pushes Shifty down into P9. We've got the other McLaren of Dale Beveridge in P13. He goes up to P2. Fantastic job there by the McLaren. We've got JD Mind Thunder. Can he get himself out? Shifty Wizard is on the back seats of his bum at the moment. He could be going through or not. JD Mind Thunder goes into P11. Who else have we got now? It looks like we've got One Truth. He's got another opportunity. Is he going to be able to push Shifty out? Here we go, coming around the last couple of corners. Still, guys, on times. This is looking very interesting to the end here. Let's have a look. What's One Truth going to do? He does. He pushes Shifty out of Q2. Oh, that's so unfortunate. We've still got more going on though, because Yuki Bear now is coming around. It looks like he is done. He's going to finish P8. We've got anyone else? Let's have a look. We've got Lamb going around again. No, we haven't. And that is Q2 done and dusted. And Shifty Wizard has been eliminated. He's been pushed out by One Truth, who has just got in there, Regus.
Indeed, yeah. Wonders had a purple sector 2 on that final lap, so we knew that lap was going to be very, very steep. So, yeah, I mean, it was a good lap from him, but it's an incredible lap from Darkwood, who seems to be on fire here with qualifying, 4/10 ahead of P2. So, just taking a look at the drivers that we have dropped Shifty Wizard in the Williams, JDI in the Mercedes, Arcade Gaming's in the Red Bull, and Midas, the rookie, jumping in the Haas. So 4 drivers dropped out, and then there were 10. Very good qualifying. We knew those times were going to switch around quite a bit there in the last couple of minutes, and they certainly did. So, yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see who gets pole.
Yes, it is. This is where it's all matters now. Obviously, we've got these guys, Arcade Gaming, Midas, JD, and Shifty Wizard. Feel free to jump on board of the comms box and have a quick chat with us before we get on to Q3. But we do have JD in. JD, mate, obviously I think you're reserving tonight. I'm just going to get that right. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yeah, you are. Mate, obviously, unfortunately, you made it through Q1, which is great. Unfortunately, didn't make it through Q2. Just right at the end there. Tell us what went wrong in the end.
Probably just pace. Haven't done a lot of practice on Hungary, but yeah.
Are you finding it each week now, going within obviously race by race, that is going to have to be a new thing where just putting a little bit of practice in to try and get those times and get yourself further up through the pack of the grid?
Yeah, that's definitely a thing I need to improve on. Yeah, and mainly just finding what areas I can improve on the car and stuff. And yeah.
And confidence going into the race, how do you feel around Hungary itself?
I feel pretty mixed feelings considering last time I was here. So yeah, maybe looking for a near top 5, but that's depending on the race. Mostly focusing on strategy.
Okay, no problem. All right, I'll pass you over to Regus. Have you got any questions for JD?
All right, so I do have just one question for you. So we know you didn't set a lap until the final 3 minutes. What was the strategic reasoning behind it? Do you think there's just going to be more rubber on the track, or just walk us through that thought process?
Yeah, mostly just for track evolution, for more grip. So I just try to wait as long as possible. And yeah.
Yeah, we know that Hungary qualifying is kind of live and die by track evolution. So a good strategy indeed, just unfortunately didn't quite work out for you. But I wish you the best of luck in the race. And yeah, thanks for jumping in.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, well, we've got a few others. Unfortunately, I don't think we've got them in the comms box, which is a bit of a shame. So it's just me and you, Rekus. But we'll go over Arcade Gaming. Obviously, jumping in tonight, reserving. He's a Division 3 driver. So, yeah, still good for him. Unfortunately, shame to obviously get knocked out. He's obviously got his other teammate in there tonight. Limitless has made through a Q3 in P5 at the moment, just on a lap. So yeah, really unfortunate there. Shifty Wizard will probably be a little bit annoyed about that. Just being knocked out right at the end, and that's all it takes, doesn't it? Just one little mistake or gambling and retiring and thinking that you're going to go through and then someone can just pick up some speed straight away and knock you out very, very quickly. And unfortunately, Midas's first debut as well. Obviously, got the other Haas in here at the moment in P7 in Yuki. But obviously Midas not making it through. So these guys will obviously have a little bit more concentration going into the race. But how do you feel about those three of RK, Midas, and Shifty?
Yeah, Shifty just had unfortunate luck. I would say the same about RK, but I would be very impressed, and I'd be pretty happy with myself if I was Midas. First race, jumping in and getting up into Q2. I mean, that's a pretty good feat on itself. Like we mentioned earlier when talking about the Aston Martin powertrain earlier, Q2 is ridiculously competitive. These drivers are insanely rapid. Like, to get into Q2 and to knock out drivers that have been in Division 2 for longer and drivers who've been in Rush for longer, be very well done, and it's definitely not something that should be taken lightly. Can't wait to see what his race pace is coming into the full race the race that we have coming here in Hungary, 35 laps around. Now, strategy is going to play a big factor of this race. We talked about it quite a bit with Watanabe earlier, and then JDI just moments ago. But yeah, I think if these teams get the strategy right, I think we can see some really excellent changes of position. We can see some drivers go up the grid purely based on strategy, especially because Hungary is just not a track that's super quick to overtake on. But one driver, I know it's the driver that's still currently in qualifying that I want to talk about, who's had really exceptional pace, topped the last two qualifying times tables, is Darkened. Darkened has had an exceptional lap so far. And I mean, he's topped both of the timetables with at least 3 to 4 tenths ahead of P2. Not the case this time, as he's about 3 tenths behind them. So, what are your predictions for pole position here? Because honestly, it could be anybody.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting here. We're seeing the two McLarens. It looks like they're going to go for the toe here. So we'll have to wait and see. Or no, actually one's going into the pits and the other one's just about to start. So yeah, MJ Roller, what can he do? He's put himself in a 1:14.344. So we'll just see if he's going to start his lap at the moment. I don't know really. It's going to be really interesting to see. We've seen some very, very quick times there. Duncan has shown a great speed, great pace. Obviously after last week, didn't go to plan for him at Monza. Unfortunately, DNFing. So he wants a bit of redemption. And he's getting it at the moment with the pace that he's showing. But the man that he's battling against is Sem. Sem is showing some serious pace. He showed some serious pace in Monza on the feature when obviously he got wet and had to get onto those wet intermediates or wet tyres. And just went away. Just could not be caught. And he's there's only 3-4 tenths between him and Darken. So have to seriously do some serious laps in the next couple of minutes. Obviously got 5 minutes to go. So not long left, probably a couple of stints. We're going to see Roller do one stint now, or sorry, second stint. Let's see if he's going to improve on his time. He's done a 1:14.344, still a little bit off the pace at the moment. Coming around on the last corner. Does he go into the pits? No. Yes, he does. He's not happy with his time. So there you go. Just a few of these guys not enjoying and not having time and having fun out there at the moment. But we'll have to wait and see. But we will be jumping on board with these guys on the flyers very, very shortly. But I can't call it, Regus. I don't really know. Can we follow cars that are on laps, not ones on in laps? Yeah, sure. We were just doing a little bit of commentary, got a little bit caught up with ourselves, but sure, we will do. When these guys come out, we will get amongst it. But yeah, let's just find a little bit of a prediction in here. Give me 5 names who you think is going to get pole position here tonight. So, Rigus, you give me a name.
All right, I'm going to, just from the pace we've seen from the last two qualifying sessions, I got to give it to the Ferrari Darkened Shadows. Excellent pace in Q1 and Q2, and I think he'll be able to get an improvement to take pole position here in Hungary. We know Ferrari had basically an abysmal weekend at Monza last time out, and I know they'll be looking to turn their fortunes around. Currently P8 in the constructors, and they're definitely going to want to just fire up the order. So, with all that motivation in mind, Darken has my vote.
All right, well, you've gone for Dagan. I've gone for Sem. We need 3 more. We've got 4 minutes to go, guys, before these guys start getting in and out. Give us 3 more names who you think is going to take pole position. Let's get this prediction in very, very quickly. He's practiced all week for this. Well, that's good. It's good to hear, Oblivion. Really good to hear. Come on, guys. 3 minutes. There's 50 of you in here. Give us 3 names. 3 names, please. Let's go. 3 names. Who you think, apart from Darkin and Sim? Who's going to get pole position? If not, we don't get 3 names, then we'll just run with the 2. MJ, thank you. MJ Roller. So there's another one, and we need 2 more. 2 more. Come on, 53 of you.
I was
Give us
actually
names.
thinking about MJ because MJ might surprise
Dante.
us. He might be a
There we
dark
go.
horse.
One more. Last one. Last one. Come on, last one. Oblivion, stop talking. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Give me a name. No, I've had Dante. Let's go again. 3 minutes, guys. These guys are going to be coming out very shortly, and we need to jump on board with an onboard. There we go, Bibs. That's it. There we go. So we'll give it 2 minutes. No, we'll give it a minute. We'll give it a minute. How's that? Yeah, we'll do a minute. So there you go. There's your predictions out, ladies and gentlemen. Prediction is who will get pole: Darkin, Sim, Roller, Dante, or Bivs. And we'll jump on board with an onboard in Darkin very, very shortly. This is it, guys. This is really where it's at. Whoever gets pole here has a big, big chance of winning this race because it is extremely difficult to overtake here, Regis.
Oh yeah, overtaking on this track it is possible. It's easier than on some tracks like Monaco, but compared to Monza, this track might as well just be, downtown LA traffic at rush hour. It is so hard to overtake here. You really only got like 2 or 3 good overtaking spots, and 2 of those are in sector 1, being the run up to turn 1 and then the second DRS zone immediately after that. Other than that, you're not really going to have a whole lot of good overtaking opportunities. So qualifying is going to be crucial on this track. And we saw in Div 4 earlier, the driver who got pole position did end up winning the race, and it might be the same thing here. So far in Division 2, that's been the case as well. Even on Monza, which is a track that's really good for overtaking, Dem got pole position, Dem ended up winning the race. So, right now, pole position has a 100% win rate in Division 2. So, with that precedent in mind, if you're superstitious about statistics, pole position is going to be absolutely critical if you want to win here today.
It is 100%, and 28,000 people have put it on Sim, and 21,000 points on Darkin. Nothing on Roller, nothing on Dante, nothing on Bev, so they're pretty confident here. So we're going to start on board with Darkin as we do keep our word. And here we go, 58 people tuning in for the last start, 55 seconds, and we're on board with Darkin. And let's see how he goes into the first corner. He was phenomenal. He's still got a lot to do, though, to beat Sem's time, and Sem is on the lap as well. Let's have a look what it's like going into Sector 1. As you can see, quite a fair bit of ERS there. Still, you can lose quite a lot of that for the remainder of this quali session. We'll have to wait and see. At the moment, it's in Sector 1. He's up on his time a little bit, but not by much. But those couple of attempts, they can make a big, big difference here. So we'll have to wait and see how we go at the moment. Very good, clean so far, so good. Is he going to be up on his time in Sector 2? This is the question. I cannot get this sector right at all. It's one of the hardest sectors in Hungary for me. But let's have a look. Sector 2, here we go. Let's have a look. Are we up or are we down on your time, Darkin? We are flying. He's 4, nearly just 5.5 attempts up. He's got a purple in Sector 3. He's got the Ferrari behind him, so they have probably tried to work out the toe here as well. Here we go. Darkin coming around the last corner. I'm going to jump off. Here we go. Is he going to take pole position at the moment? It's 1:13.875. It goes 1:2.42. A great time. Dante goes to a P3. We've got the Haas of Yuki Bear. He crosses the line. He goes P5. We then got the Williams. Sorry, we've got the Red Bull. No, we have not got the Red Bull. Sorry, we've got, who else is it? I'm trying to think who we've got. Everyone's coming around so fast. We've got Roller going in P2. We've also got Limitless to go, and we've also got Sem did not go. He decided to retire. He's gone P3. So there you go. One Truth, what's he going to do? He's in P10 at the moment, and we've got one more guy left, which is Limitless Draco. At the moment, Darken Shadows is in pole position to start off this Grand Prix at Hungary. One Truth, can he change anything on this at all? Let's have a look. Coming around the last corner, what's he going to do? He goes P9, and it's all down to Limitless. What's Limitless going to do? Can he cause a storm here? I think he went P5 there in the end. P4! Good time there, but there you go. Well done. Great prediction there for you, Regus. Darken takes out the pole position.
I'm glad I actually used a few channel points on that one. But yeah, Darkin just had a really good lap there. And the main thing I've noticed from this qualifying session is that Sector 2 is like the money sector. If you get a purple on Sector 2, your time is going to be extremely good. Just running down your top 10 here, we have Darkin Shadows taking pole position, followed by MJ Rolla, Dem, Limitless Draco, XD Lamb, Dante, Bev, Yuki, The One Truth, and then Spry rounding out our top 10. That was a good qualifying session here, but Sector 2 was definitely, like I mentioned, a money sector. If you nailed Sector 2, that was basically as good as gold. But here's the thing. So far, at least in the other divisions that I've watched and commentated on, Ferrari have gone pole position before, but they haven't been able to ever convert it. But the statistic from earlier with Div 2 having a 100% pole to win conversion is also something to think about.
Yeah, the problem is, though, this track is extremely difficult. You know, it's extremely difficult to overtake. We're going to be seeing what's going to happen going into turn one. Whoever's going to go for the first move, who's got the pace. It's all about being patient, trying to make those tyres save as much as you can. And then it's about strategy. You know, getting the undercut, overcut, whatever you want to do. You know, it's going to be very interesting. And like we said, building up to this, it's all about the quality going into this race. So there's some big points up for grabs here if people get this right. But I'm sure if things go wrong, then the safety car can change the whole dynamics of this race very, very quickly, which we saw early on in Division 4. So, yeah, going to be interesting to see. But here we go. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights, and we're up and we're away at round number 2 at Division 2 of the Hungarian Grand Prix, and Darkin is in pole position at the moment. Who is going to get the first? Who's going to go for the first move going into turn 1? Oh, we've got XPG going around the outside. Roller doesn't go around the outside, and Darkin still leads the way at the moment. We've got XPG though, and Roller going side by side. Is this going to work? XPG crosses the line. Roller tries to go round the outside, doesn't get the job done. Or does he get the job done? Yes, he does. Comes back round, but Sem gets it and keeps the P2. Then we've got Roller, then we've got Limitless, then we've got Lamb with Dante, Yuki, Dale, One Truth and Dale and Yuki are going side by side into Sector 2. Dale going way off the track there, and then he loses that position. We've got a little bit of a car park going in there for them, couple of chicanes. One Trip into P9, then Spry Apples into P10, battling side by side with JD there. Then are they still going? No, they're still going side by side, and he stays in formation of JD. Then we're going over to Spry. We've got then Oscar, then we've got Shifty, Watanabe, Baratan, then Aiden is Raiden, Midas going past the Red Bull of Arcade Game in P18, having a nice little battle up there with Whiff, and that is that's your standing so far, so good. But Darkin, he's on his way, isn't he?
Indeed, yeah. I mean, that was exactly what he needed to do. He needed to make sure that he didn't lose T1 going into turn 1 or turn 2, because those are pretty much the best overtaking spots on the entirety of this track. We saw XPG make a very good use of that corner. He got the overtake done onto MJ Rolling. They obviously that side-by-side battle over to sector number 2. And yeah, and also Midas has had a very atrocious start, dropping down several positions down into P18. He's in second to last here at the moment. The only car so far on the hard tower compound. Everybody else elected to start the medium. But yeah, right now, Darkin, he's looking to quickly reverse the fortune that Ferrari had out in Monza, their home track. And I mean, he's staying out of, or he's making sure that gap doesn't get too close, but he needs to really extend that gap. Because if he extends that gap outside the DRS range, then this race is as good as done for Darkin at the moment. But safety cars are still a potential threat. We did have Draco either leave or disconnect. We'll go ahead and get him back in. But yeah, very exciting race to start so far.
Yeah, definitely. There's moves going left, right, and centre, and this is going to be absolutely carnage for Limitless at the moment. He's just asked me to request an invite, so there you go. Hopefully, you're back in, my friend. Yuki Bear goes off track, smashes a board. That is a penalty already. Oh, so that's not good for Yuki Bear. I think he could be under stewards there for a pen. Almost had you, SJ. No, that's fine. No problem. Oh, I'm onto it, mate. I'm onto it. That's good. It's good. It's good, Sammy. One Truth is out, so if we can get him an invite, that would be great. 61 people tuning in tonight. Really appreciate this, guys. Arcade Gaming. Oh, what's happened there? 3 seconds at the back. He is fallen back as he got damaged there. There's a sector 1 incident going on. There's a little bit of drama happening all over the place. And the thing is, when you make a mistake in Hungary, it's so difficult to bring it back. That's the hardest thing about this track, because you lose the DRS. It's so difficult to overtake, so you've really got to time everything to perfection here. If you get it wrong, it could be catastrophic for your race. And we're seeing a few mistakes here at the moment. But going back up to the front, we're seeing MJ Roller still putting the pressure on Sem, and Sem still staying with the DRS of Darkin, but Roller looking to go for the move on lap 4 on Sem round the outside there. Does he get the job done? Limitless Draco is out of this race. He is left, he is out, he is done. The Red Bull is done and dusted. That's so unfortunate for Limitless there. And Sem back into P3, Roller into P2. Things are happening in this Hungarian race already, Regis. I'm only on lap 4 out of 35.
Yeah, I know Hungary sometimes can be kind of not the most exciting race, but so far with Division 4 and Division 2, that has not been the case. We've had some excellent racing here. Some really aggressive moves, but I mean, they're being made at the spots where you're going to expect overtakes. Taking advantage of those good overtaking spots going into turn 1 and then going into turn 3. Excellent stuff there from the McLaren of MJ. Now, Darkin is outside of the DRS range, which is going to be crucial, but it's somewhere in sector 3 where he just loses a bit of time to the cars behind. Last lap, he had 1.4 seconds on Sem, who was in P2 at the time, but by the time they came across the line, it was back to 8/10 of a second. As now, Oscar Bianchigo has also left the session, so we're having a few tech problems, unfortunately. We'll go ahead and try to get those resolved. I'll go ahead and get Oscar back in here. He's not even appearing online. So
until he comes back.
We'll get him back as soon as we can.
Yeah, we'll have to wait until he comes back at the moment. We've got Darkin in P1, Roller in P2, and Sem in P3. That is your top 3 at the moment. Looking really good points for Ferrari, McLaren, and Kick. But also he's got Williams of XD Lamb there at the moment. And we've also got Dante there in P5. And Sem has caught himself a 3-second time penalty. So that is very unfortunate very early on lap 5 out of 35. So we'll have to wait and see at the moment. No, it's no red flag at the moment. Way too early. Oscar Piastri go. There's only 2 of you have left. And that's only on lap 5 out of 35. So no, we won't be red flagging it. And Darkin at the moment in 1.2 in front. But Roller still keeps pulling that back in. Doesn't want to keep making too many mistakes though. Doesn't want to keep battling the guys behind. Wants to be in try and get into it as soon as possible. But we'll have to wait and see here at the moment. Go a little bit further back down. 2 seconds Shifty Whizzer to the back of Yuki. So a little bit of a gap there. From Yuki Bear, but still early days. Anything can happen in this race, as we've seen. As Sem has just lost P4, and now XD Lamb is attacking that for P3. So Watanabe, though, attacking Spry Apples. A lot going on. Very early days here, Rekas, in this Hungarian Grand Prix. And we have a few penalties as well. Arcade Gaming making a spot up. JD down there in P15, Oscar Piastri down there in P16, One Truth down there in P17, Minus down there in P18 going on the hards. So he's calling it early to see what happens here. And we'll have to wait and see it going a little bit further on. But Dante in the mix now as well with that top 5. Let's have a look at some changes. We've seen there Powertram gaining 8. Fantastic result for him so far. We've also got one to Napier go. Oh, 7, and Dante gets a little bit side swiped there, and that could have been curtains for him. Then we've also got One Truth losing 8 positions as well. The biggest loser of the night, unfortunately losing Olympus Tracker very early on. But things are happening. And all these guys are all on 5 laps, apart from Midas, who's just gone on another set of fresh medium compound tyres. So we'll have to wait and see what happens here. And I think
we
we're
just
calling it a red flag, from what I'm hearing.
Yep, I was just about to mention it.
Yep, okay, there we go. So we're going to red flag it. So we'll get all these guys back on board, and we'll be back with you very, very shortly. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about the delay. There was a red flag due to obviously a few disconnections there, and obviously with the rule states more than 3 or 4 drivers, it will be red flagged, and also running a 35% race due to 7 laps being already finished. So yes, 35% race, and we will be going again from the same weather, so everything will stay the same grid order from qualifying, and we'll be back up and running very shortly. And Reckers, I'll let you take away the start of the restart of the red flag race.
All right. Hopefully, we don't have any more problems because honestly, we had some excellent racing here already in the first 7 laps. And I think these next 25 are also going to be really entertaining. Turn 1 is always going to be a talking point for absolute chaos. We saw some really good overtakes on lap number 1 as we await for the game to load in. So we could go ahead and get started with lap number 1 of the restart. And yeah, this is going to be a blast. We already saw some, honestly, better racing than what I was originally expecting from Hungary. Although Div 2 never ceases to amaze. We have those 5 red lights on display. And it's the lights down. Away we go. We're back for green in Hungary. A great start for Draco. He moves in position. Rolla goes ahead and takes up a position. He's leading into turn 1. Parker goes way off track there. Might have been a little bit of contact there. He is pushed wide. He might have to give a spot back to an Alpine, but this restart was nightmare fuel for Darkin. But it's an absolute dream start for Rolla. As Arcade Gaming is out of the session, and it's a safety car on lap number 1. I believe that was contact. There's a lot of incidents already happening on lap 1. And yeah, terminal damage for Arcade Gaming, the Red Bull.
Yes, very, very unfortunate on the restart, and this is what happens in racing, unfortunately. Things change on a restart race, and yes, Arcade Gaming is out of this race. Unfortunately for him, driving up, but he had a little bit of experience in it earlier on before we did red flag the race, so hopefully we'll see what he can do on Wednesday night. I do apologise. Okay, I know it's not the way to go forward, but yeah, there's one thing we will be looking at is obviously the situation with Durkin. Doing a really, really great job. Then I think missing his breaking point or getting pushed off track. We'll have to wait and see what that's going to be looked at by the stewards, or if that was being looked at by a steward. We'll have to wait and see there. But no, he's all the way down into P9 now, and we've got Limitless going into the pits. We've got a few guys going to the pits, so looking to probably run the hards to the end here.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, it's a viable strategy, especially because the race duration is shorter. We know how strong those hard tires are on this track, especially with how much tire degradation is a factor here. But I mean, from what I saw from Darkin, it just looked like he just locked his brake shift going into turn 1, and then with all the other 18 cars trying to get through, there's no spot for him to really successfully rejoin on track. So yeah, just an unfortunate race car there for the Ferrari.
Yeah, it looks like a few guys running completely different strategies as well. So if you're looking at Roller and the McLaren, he's on those mediums, and you've got Dale Bibbs on those hards. You've also got the other Williams; they're both still on the mediums as well. You've got the two RB, or sorry, one RB because unfortunately the other one's got here. We've got obviously the Haas on two same strategies as well. Obviously, the two Ferraris on 2 different strategies. Darken on the mediums, and Dante now going on the hards. You've got the Alpine of One Truth on those mediums, and Aiden is Raiden also on the mediums. You've got JD on the mediums, and you've got Oscar Piastri on the hards. Watanabe on those mediums, and Powertramp on those mediums as well, but fresher mediums. And then you go a little bit further down, and everyone else is on those mediums. So a few guys on the hards. You've got both of the Kick Saubers making the same stop there on those hard compound tyres. So they could be a team to watch out for and trying to get for the undercut here. It's very early days though, isn't it? But those mediums all the way at the top all have to stop. So P1 all the way down to P11 still have to stop. So this could be very interesting for the rest of the guys from P12 down to P18, Rigas.
Yeah, indeed. And I mean, we talked about it a lot during qualifying. The strategy was going to be a big factor in this race. Your strategy could go extremely right or extremely wrong, and the safety car is always going to play a huge role in that when it comes to strategy. Because I mean, like for a lot of the drivers that already did their pit stop, the hard tire is extremely good around the track, like we mentioned just a few moments ago. So I think that safety car really worked out for them in the end when it came to strategy. But yeah, I mean, you just gotta push hard now. But obviously, not so hard that you cause another safety car. But yeah, it's just unfortunate for some of these drivers. I mean, like Darkened, like before the restart, he was having an absolute clinic of a race, doing exactly what he needed to just to, stay ahead. Stay out of the DRS range. Just overall, just have a very good race. And now on a restart, he dropped down to P7, and with a few cars ahead of him pitting in, he dropped down to P5. So here's the question I'm going to pose to you. If you're one of the drivers that went ahead and decided to stay out on the mediums, when do you pit? When do you go ahead and make that switch to the hard tire compound?
Um, I'd be trying to get 10. I'd be trying to get at least 10 laps out of those mediums. I think Starkin, as we were talking about early on in qualifying, did fantastic qualifying and took the P1 there, but also is in a very, very good position still. He's still in P5. He's got Yuki Bear in front of him. He's still got quite a competitive grid. Competitive drivers in front and behind as well at the moment, but MJ Roller is the one to watch out for. He he really had a really, really good start on the restart here, so we'll have to wait and see how we go. But yeah, I'll be looking at these guys to be looking around about lap 9, lap 10 to come in and then go to those hards to the end. But anything can happen in this race as Roller is away, and here we go. Trying to lose the toe there from Lamb. 4.5 attempts at the moment. Nothing really happening through the first lap. Anyone going to make any moves? Darken getting very, very closely to Yuki Bear. He's seriously got the pace here. So if he keeps it clean, there'll be one to watch out for in the Ferrari. We've already got moves going on here already. Shifty going around the outside of Watanabe, getting the job done up into P8. So good job there already. We've got Limitless going around the outside. Hopefully his race doesn't go to plan like it did in the beginning of the first race, but he is still in this race at the moment. So one of the Red Bulls still left. We've got Minus right far behind there in that P12 position. But early days at the moment, Regis, but MJ Roller in control of this race.
Indeed, yeah. And I was actually watching that battle between Minus and Draco. I mean, he got the overtake done into turn 1. He went around the outside, had a good line from turn number 2, but just could not hold it going into the beginning of sector 2. But yeah, MJ Roller's doing good. He's doing exactly what he needs to right now, although ideally he would want to increase that gap a little bit to Lamb. But since these drivers are still on the mediums from the beginning of the restart, I think they're going to try to. I'm going to think they're just going to try to make those mediums last and just try not to burn that tire up a whole lot so they can still at least utilize a little bit of that speed that they have. Because we know the medium is a quicker tire, but it just does not have the duration that the hard tire does, especially on a track that is twisty as this. I think we see MJ Roller locking up the brakes ever so slightly around some of these corners, but it's going to put his car in a good position on track to keep the Williams of XD Lamb behind. But yeah, this is so far been a really good race and a really good restart for MJ Roller here.
Yeah, definitely. And we can see Darken getting very, very close to the back of Yuki, trying to wait for that move, trying to wait for that right time. Going to be very difficult to make that move because every single car in front of them is in the DRS. So it's going to make it even more difficult there. 5.2 drivers are not to pause the game during a safety car and allow AI to drive. A will overtake them under safety car. Drivers will be penalised for this action. Yes, that is correct. That's in the rule book. Thank you very much for that, Thunderballs. Really appreciate it. 52 people. Thank you very much for staying with us and tuning in. Let us know if you want to get on board with anyone for an onboard. Let us know if you want a prediction up. Let us know. Remember, driver of the day will start commencing on lap number 19, and we will start putting our votes in around lap 20, and we will get your vote as soon as possible, and they will make the decision on lap 24. So, still plenty of time, still plenty of racing to go. As we see there, Spry Napples easing off the acceleration there. Darkin going round the outside. Does he get the job done? Yes, he does. They're going side by side, though. This is going to be very interesting. Who's going to relinquish the position? It doesn't look like Spry is. They're going side by side. That is fantastic.
Woohoo!
Between the Ferrari and the kick. The RB there, got the wrong car completely, but Darkin showing us what he is capable of in that Ferrari. Great move, great overtake. Please clip that, Riggers.
Indeed, that was absolutely perfect there from the Ferrari. And also, I think Yuki Bear's move kind of got swept under the rug. He got a really good overtake around the outside on Spry before Darkin did, and that is cinema right there. That is peak overtaking on Hungary. I mean, you don't see a lot of moves through that part of the track. So that is excellent, excellent moves from Darkin there. He's on a revenge drive right now. He wants payback. He knew he had pole position. He lost pole position. He's going to try a deep send up turn 1 onto Yuki, but doesn't quite get it done. Yuki is going to have track position going into the next corner, but he's later on the brakes. A little bit of contact between the Haas and the Ferrari. But he's got the inside for the next corner, and these two are still going side by side. They're coming up to the beginning of Sector 2, and Darkin Shadows will go ahead, make the move stick. He is up in the P3, now chasing down MJ Roller in the McLaren, and he wants to keep that 100% pole to win conversion rate alive in division number 2. This would be an excellent turnaround for Ferrari season right now. Abysmal in Monza, absolutely stunning in Hungary. As with Petit, it's a 3-second penalty for track limits.
Absolutely fantastic racing here from Darkin and Yuki Bear at the moment. It's going, and it looks like Darkin is now going to go right on the back of Roller. Has Roller made a mistake there? Because I'm seeing a 6.5 tenth gap there between him and Lamb. And now he's going to come under extreme pressure from Darkin. Is Darkin even going to go for the move on the right-hand side? Oh, Roller was about to block it. Darkin going around the outside. Roller going side by side. They're going side by side again. And Darkin taking P2. He's seriously got some pace here, but he's burnt a lot of the RS compared to the other drivers in front. Lamb on 34%, well, now on 40%. Darkin on 29%, Roller on 65%, but still early days to go. Remember, these top 9 still have to pit, Regis.
Indeed, yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting. So I definitely think that these drivers that are still on the mediums are going to just they're going to pray to the FIA that we get another safety car, because that is going to be the only way that these medium runners are going to have a chance of trying to win this race, unless they pull out an astounding gap to those hard runners behind. As MJ Roller and Yuki Bear go wheel to wheel, battling quite a bit. He had the overtake done on Roller for a bit, but Roller goes ahead and holds it off. Fry is having a really good race after the restart. He's at P5 at the moment. He was challenging for P4 for a while there. But yeah, right now, these medium runners are probably going to pit in sooner rather than later, as we see a few positions being traded. Yuki's got the inside line, and there's contact between the Haas and the McLaren there. And he's going to have DRS going into turn number 3. And that was a very optimistic move by Yuki Bear. Got a little bit of a loop trap behind from MJ. But man, this restart is delivering as much as the original race did.
Yeah, no, definitely. But it's 1.7 seconds between Yuki and Lamb, which is not helping his position at the moment, because he's added the DRS, so he's going to come under extreme pressure from Roller, from Spry, and also from JD soon, and also Shifty. Shifty has made up some few spots as well, so he's looking ready to pounce as well at the moment. Lamb and Darkin, though, and this is great to see here, ladies and gentlemen. Darkin making his way up from the championship last season in Division 3, making his way up to Division 2, and the guy behind him, who's the runner-up, is right behind him. You would not have been able to you wouldn't be able to put your hand on it. You wouldn't be able to put your hand on it. And at the moment, Lamb is out of the DRS already on lap 9, coming on to lap 10. So we probably will start to see some of these medium guys coming in. We'll have to wait and see here. But Lamb could be in a little bit of trouble here if he doesn't get into the DRS of Darkin on the next lap. Because Darkin is now 1.3. He is definitely showing the pace around Hungary tonight. And going back down to the back, Oscar Piastri down there in P16, trying to get through the pack. Very difficult. Powertran making up a few spots early on. Dale Bevs as well making up a few spots. One Truth making a big mistake there and losing up another spot. Getting very, very close to his teammate. Aiden is waiting right behind him, wanting to get the move done. Can't get the move done. Don't know if they're in comms. Don't know if there's communication. But you do not want to be making mistakes here. A little bit further up though. Shifty still on P7 at the moment in that Williams. 2.5 tenths behind JD, trying to get the move done, get even closer. Will he pounce? Will he make the move? Will someone go for the undercut? Will someone go for the next longest stint? We'll have to wait and see. As Lamb is now 2.1 seconds behind Darkin, and Yuki is 1.3 seconds behind Lamb. And there we go. Are we seeing an Aston go off the track to make a move? Lovely to see it. Watanabe going side by side there with Limitless. It's all going on at the moment. Watanabe on the left-hand side, Limitless going round the outside. Sam having nowhere to go here, and here we go. We've got the first pit stop from Roller, so he's decided to call it, and everyone else has decided to continue, Rekus.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, honestly, I think Lamb should have pitched because on that last lap, he lost about 2 tenths just in turn 1 because he had to make several oversteer corrections coming out of just turn 1 and turn 2. But also, I saw Spry also getting a little score there. In sector 2, as Powertran is out of the session. Aiden's off track, so I think there might have been contact between the two there. I'll look at the race director and see what's going on with that. But yeah, I mean, yeah, terminal damage for Powertran, so that Aston Martin is done.
Ooh.
That car is probably in more pieces than your average jigsaw puzzle. Yeah, just not a great race, and I mean, yeah, we have a safety car on track because I was not sure if the UI was bugged or not. But Rolla might have pitted in at just the wrong time, just because now the safety car is out. So I do think we're going to see probably all of these drivers make a pit stop now.
Yeah, we
So
will.
get ready for a massive flurry of activity happening in the pits here on lap 11 out of 25.
Yeah, we will do. But Darkin is only 9 seconds behind Aiden as Raiden, so we could pick up some spots here. This is going to be very interesting. Absolutely kills Draco. He had the win. Well, we'll have to wait and see how this is going to go, because Darkin is now coming to the pits. Lamb's coming to the pits. We will see nearly every single car come into the pits. Is Roller going to be able to jump the whole lot? I don't know. He may be a little bit too far back. Let's have a look. Where's Darkin? Darkin's now coming out now. Powertram has left the session. It's very unfortunate there for that safety, for that DNF there. And here comes Roller. Where is he? I'm just trying to find where he is. He's coming around now. I think he's going to get caught up. I don't think he's going to make it. I'm just looking now.
Yeah, he's coming around the last
He's coming down the main straight. He's going to gain a few. He's going to gain a few. 12. Oh, does he get... He gains P13. So that has really hurt Roller. But one thing I'm looking at here, and this is the interesting part. The top 4, right? Everyone has stopped, but the top 4 all on 10 laps. Is that going to help, or is that not going to help? Because every single person down from P5 to P17, all on fresh tyres, and there's not, well, it's still quite a long way to go, but being on old tyres around this track, these tyres that these guys are going to be on, the fresher ones, they're going to be flying. So we could see another safety car coming up very, very shortly.
We saw it with some of the races at Monza where, like, even though, like, some cars did make a more optimal pit stop on a more optimal lap, those fresher tires just carved through the pack. One instance that comes to mind is a Rock Lobster from Division 6 in Aston Martin. He pitted in twice, but he went on to a fresh set of mediums, and within like 3 laps, he was already like about to take P1, and then just launched off to the distance. That's a track that's not hard on tires compared to this track here in Budapest, Hungary. So I think that these guys who pitted in early with the first safety car, I think they're in a bit of trouble, especially with the pace that we've seen from Darkin, Lamb, and Yuki. All these drivers have shown some really exceptional pace, and I think that the top four drivers are in some serious trouble here once we get underway with the restart.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting on how this is going to work moving forward, because four guys on those 11 laps. But the best thing here is the kicks are very close together, so the working together on that part might actually help them. Whiff does have that 3-second time penalty as well, so that's really unfortunate for him. He's the only one that does have that penalty. But do you go in? Do you go in and do you risk it? Do you go in and? But the thing is, what does he go in and do? Because the mediums, they just won't last, and Dale Bevs could be in trouble here going on those medium tyres. They're 9 laps, 10 laps. That takes them to 23. Two safety cars. They probably will last, but they're going to be really tired. So we'll have to wait and see here. But this is going to be a very interesting restart on how it's going to go, because Limitless has got some serious pace, but they are on old tyres, and the rest of the guys behind them are all on fresh. So, yeah, I think we could be looking at another safety car. I think slower cars cause carnage. Unfortunately, it's not their fault, but and this is a track where you can't afford to be slow, and you can't really afford to wait around. You need to get that move done, and you've not really got many spots to do it. So we'll have to wait and see how we go there. 60 people tuning in tonight. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to jump on board with Darkin, as F1 VOD has asked for a on board, and we'll keep on board with him. He has got a massive opportunity of winning this race, and winning it by a big margin if he can get through this top 4.
Indeed. So we are going back to start the race. It is a good restart from Draco. It looks like Dark Shadow's already going to make a position up onto Whip Petit. It just depends on who's late on the brakes. And Whip Petit hangs around the outside, but that is just not the optimal line that you're going to want to take. Dark Shadow will move up a position already on the restart, already taking advantage. XD Lamb is going to take advantage of Whip Petit being on the older tires. And now it's going to be another revenge drive from Duncan County. He's got 3 cars ahead of him. He navigates these corners so effectively. With Petit dropping down several positions, he's off the track. Unfortunate stuff there for the Sauber, but going back with Darkened Shadows, he's basically right on the gearbox of that Mercedes. Soon as we get to a DRS zone, if we even make it to that point before he makes a move, he's got a good chance to make a full send onto Oscar Piastrigo. The moves aren't going to be made here because this is basically impossible and honestly very unnecessary to try to make a move here. But I do think going into turn 1, I think that Darkin is going to make at least one position up onto Oscar. We're not even going to get to that corner officially. He's just got more grip. He's got the inside line. He's got the move. And it's going to be effortless. But a little bit of contact there with XD Lamb is going to make him go a little squirrely. So we'll see if Dr. Jones can hold on to that position at the beginning of lap 15, Governor.
Yeah, great drive in there, great drive in. And you could just tell, can't you, that Whiff has just dropped all the way down to P17. Very unfortunate there on 13 lap hards. It just tells you they've just got better grip. The hards just don't seem to have the grip at the moment at the front, and that's why he's got past Oscar Piastrigo very easy. And Oscar's now going to come under extreme pressure from fresher cars. He's got Naples behind on those 3, and they're just telling you now that those hard compound tyres that are brand new have got so much more grip than the old ones, and they've put themselves into a little bit of trouble here. So if this doesn't go right, we could, like I said, we could see another safety car, because they're just too slow and they're holding everyone up, and they've just got no grip. And now Oscar's now in the way of his teammate of JD, who is looking ready to get the move done as well. And it just doesn't. Yeah, it's an interesting strategy to go long on a track where, you know, it's extremely difficult to make these moves, and Darkin has done it very well, and he looks like he's ready to make the move again on Limitless, and he's getting right in the mix of Sem as well, and Sem is up there as well on those old tyres. So, yeah, this is going to get very juicy to the end here as well. Lap 16 on 25. We're going a little bit further down, and Bev's on those medium compact tyres, so he's going to be extremely quick, but how long are they going to last? That's going to be the question. He's up to P8. Roller into P12. Hasn't really been able to make many spots. Maybe just waiting for the right top moment. He goes around the outside there, gets the move done, tries to get the move around the outside of the Aston Martin there, gets the move done on the Aston Martin, up into P11. Great move there from Roller. Yuki Bear, though, going side by side with Lamb, and he is into P4, Limitless into P5, and those old hard compound tyres of Sem, Oscar Piastri, and Limitless and Whiff are really hurting in this race, Vegas.
Indeed. I do want to commend Sem, though, because Sem is putting on some stellar defense against a very rapid Ferrari, a very aggressive Ferrari, a very angry Italian stallion behind him on much fresher tires, and he's holding him up extremely well. I mean, the two main spots for overtaking are both in Sector 1, and he held him up. Oh, this is going to be fun. 3 cars going 3 wide into turn number 1. Seb loses 2 positions. He loses 1 to a Ferrari, another to a Williams. But we'll see if he can hold it on. Come to the next watch the brakes slightly. But yep, Darkin Shadows is doing exactly what he needs to. Now, on the fresher tires, up that corner, he is just going to send it. The only thing that can undo his race right now is a safety car or a penalty. And hopefully we see neither one of those for any driver for the rest of this race.
Yeah, and I'll tell you something, Lambert's definitely got it on his head here to keep up with Dark, and he's got some serious pace around this track. And we were talking about it earlier on, and here we go. It's the champion versus the runner-up. In with the DRS still at the moment, but you can see how much pace that Darkin has got. Even though they're on the same tyre strategy, or even the same tyre life, he's gone. He's at the DRS. He's lost him. He's 1.1 already down the main straight, and he's lost the DRS. It's it, that quick. And that just shows you the pace difference on this track is incredible. And Yuki Bear is now into P3, so he's going to be putting the pressure on Lamb. And anything can happen. We're on lap 18 and 25. Still opportunity for a safety car to come out. But at the moment, it's Darkins to lose for the time being. On the best tyre. All the guys at the front all on the best tyre. Sem doing a good position, doing a good job. He's on 16 lap hards in that P4 at the moment. Is he going to be able to keep that P4? That's going to be the question. You've got Naples as well on 6 laps as well. Limitless is on 16. He's doing the best he can, but he's coming under extreme pressure from Bez, who unfortunately does get a penalty. And we don't see that much, do we? We don't see Bez getting penalties much. And Oscar Piastri just getting a penalty there as well. Shifty Wiz are 1.9 seconds behind. He will be able to start reeling them in as well. Are those mediums going to go off before the end of the race? That's going to be the question. A little bit further back down in the back, and we've got Aiden as Raiden is in the gravel. He's lost it. What's happened there? We'll have to wait and see. I'm just trying to see if he's got any damage on that car. Any front wing, front left plate. Let's have a look. Nope. So far, so good. We are coming closing stages to driver of the day, Regis. Now, what's your thoughts on driver of the day at the moment?
I think the general consensus is going to be very clear. Before I get to that, Aiden is just on the struggle bus at the moment. He's just fishtailed all over the place. He actually just plowed his Alpine into the wall, so he does have damage now. The front left wing is just mostly gone. Just unfortunate stuff there for the Alpine. But coming back to the driver of the day topic, I think the answer is going to be pretty obvious. I mean, you can't really say anything against Darkin. He had an abysmal start to the restart, dropping down all the way to P7, and he climbed his way back up to P1 and is having probably the best race of his career here at Rush. Absolute domination here at a track that is pretty hard to overtake on. So I think he got the strategy calls right. And overall, he's just got pace. He had pace before the restart and pace after the restart. So Dark and Shadows, that's my pick for driver of the day.
At the moment, I'm gonna give it to Sem. On my vote, my vote's gonna go to Sem. XPG Sem. And guys, that's our votes. So you have 4 laps to choose your DOTD. Enjoy. Well, there you go. So they've got 4 laps to choose their DOTD. We have gone with Regus has gone with Duncan. I've gone with Sem. And who are you guys going to go with? Let us know. And then we will see what the answer is going to be. Yeah, done a phenomenal job at the moment. 2.7 seconds out in front. We're going to go over the pins. There you go. There's penalties. Lamb doing a really, really good job as well. But it could be a nice little battle here between P2 and P3. The reason I'm going to Sem has done 18 laps on those hards in P7. And he's doing a phenomenal job. And he's got no pens. And if he stays with Bevs, he's going to finish P5. So that's a fantastic job from him. But Darkin has been absolutely extraordinary tonight. The pace that he has shown, incredible. Absolutely incredible. Is Dante going to be able to catch up for the rest of the pack? We've got Limitless now looking likely to be overtaken. Yes, he has. He's been overtaken by Roller. And we've got a yellow in Sector 2. And that's Aiden's Raiden. Unfortunately, he's lost it again. No damage to that car at the front, though. So it could all be internal damage there with the side pod. But Yuki Bear is not catching Darkin at the moment, Regus.
Indeed. And honestly, if we don't see another vote, I think Yuki Bear should be thrown into the mix as well. He's had a really good race, moved up 6 positions, going to get what is, I believe, the first podium for Haas of the season in any division. I know for a fact in Div 2, it'll be the first podium for Haas. That's going to rocket them up the standings. But yeah, I mean, Aiden is, like I mentioned earlier, Aiden's on the struggle bus. Darkin is putting everybody else behind him on the struggle bus, and he is struggling not one bit. Darkin has had probably, I still stand by the fact that this is probably the best race I have ever seen from Darkin. Absolute lights to chicken flag domination here from the Ferrari. But yeah, this has been a very exciting race. I mean, I know Division 2 always brings out excitement, but we know Hungary sometimes can be a bit of a 50-50 on whether you're going to have a banger or a clanger of a race. This race definitely falls into that banger category. Lots of action, a lot of overtakes. Honestly, a lot of drivers that could easily fall into that driver of the day category.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And Darkin is about to, looks like, lap Aiden's Raiden, so hopefully he doesn't get in the way at the moment. But Yuki Bear and Lamb are going to take this to the wire for the podium. And I think Aiden's Raiden is getting out of the way. Let's have a look. I'll just double check there. Darkin, Div 1 domination. Let's have a look. No, he's got past him. He has got past him there. We've got XD, Lamb, and Yuki going at it, and obviously Aiden's Raiden is just round the corner, so he probably might come into the pits and call it. We'll have to wait and see. Or he'll try and get that soft time. No, he's going to the pits. I think that's a retirement there for the Alpine, unfortunately. But here we go. Dante getting a 3-second time penalty. That helps out Dale Bevis as well as it stands. Here we go. We've got 23 laps added 25. We've got 2 laps to go. 1 more lap to go before we make the decision. And at the moment, it is Yuki Bear as the last name in the comments. Yuki Bear in P2, really going against with Lamb at the moment. We've got battles going on here as Roller does get the move on Sem. Sem falling down even further, but Roller going a very, very long way there. He does get the move done and is into P6. A great job by the McLarens. The question is, can Roller hold up the rest of the pack to try and let Dale Bevs pull on through? Because at the moment, he's got 3 seconds and he's falling back quite heavily down the grid. And that's the worrying thing at the moment, isn't it? Lap 23 with a 3-second time penalty. He could be falling back a little bit further. You're going to probably drop down from P5 to P8. Really unfortunate there for Dale Bevs, unless Roller can do anything about it. We'll have to wait and see here. But Sem, 21 laps on those hard compound tyres, with every single person behind him on fresher tyres, doing a great job. Going a little bit further up to the top though, Lamb, is he going to make the move here? 77%, 98% ERS, they are really saving that battery. and we're coming on to the last lap, so or one more lap before this one. Are we going to see a little bit of a last hurrah here from Lam and Yuki?
Oh yeah, 100%. Especially when we come to that last lap. These drivers are gonna burn their ERS like they're burning logs at a bonfire. He actually gets really close there. Lamb just a little bit later on the brakes. He's got to make the move now, or otherwise, that's basically his last shot at getting a move onto the final lap of this race. As we are on the penultimate lap here, Darkened is gone. He's off to the next race. And yeah, right now, so basically the biggest battle in this race right now, Osby Williams. I mean, regardless, unless there's a massive accident, both drivers are slated for a podium here, so it will still be a really solid result from both of these drivers. Their teams definitely needed this, but this is going to go down to the wire. And honestly, if Sector Land does not get a move made before Sector 2 kicks off, then he just doesn't have it. Because pretty much your best chances of overtaking here on Hungary are in Sector 1. The start-finish straight, and then the hairpin going up to the straight that leads to Sector 2, right after the second and final DRS zone.
Yeah, and here we go. We're on the last lap here. Darken 5.6 seconds in front. Has been literally one step ahead of everyone tonight. Could be one of his favourite tracks. I am not sure, but he's done a phenomenal job. There is XPG Sem. It's gone from bad to worse for him. He's dropped all the way down into B12, but we're going to go further back up to the top because here goes Yuki and here goes Lam. They're both on a lot of battery, and Lam is on 16%. So something has gone wrong there. Why has he used so much ERS? We'll have to wait and see. Shifty is really trying to get past the McLaren. This is the chance now. He has got hardly any ERS as well, so it's all about battling and going for the move. Shifty getting closer and closer to Roller at the moment, and Dale Bev's doing his best to try and keep out in front as well. A good position for both McLarens at the moment, and I've just got to say, all top five are all different teams. Good to see a little bit of variety. Lamb 6.5 tenths behind, and I think he's lost it. I think he is. I think he's not going to do it. I think Yuki is going to hold on to that P2 position. We're going to go over to Darkin. Darkin coming around the last corner. What a race for Darkin tonight. Taking the win in the Ferrari on the red flag restart. Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal tonight from Darkin. Taking the P1. Yuki Bear getting so close with Lamb at the end there. Taking the P2. Lamb taking the P3. Spry, though, what a great result for him, taking a P4. Big points there for the RPs. And look at this, look at the two McLarens going to go to the wire. And there you go. Nice little finish there. And yeah, everyone crossing the line now at the end. What a race. Only 2 DNS in Hungary, but what an interesting race that was.
Oh yeah, 100%. Lots of action, and I mean, I would honestly say we had more action here at Hungary compared to Monza, which is a really wild statement, I understand, but this race just had everything. I mean, this shows how absolutely competitive Division 2 is. Hungary is not a track known for overtaking and risky maneuvers. This race had both of those things made, and it was just an astounding race from all the drivers, especially our top three, with Yuki Bear actually getting the in-game driver of the day.
Yeah.
So I guess that just leads us to make our decision on who's our pick for driver of the day.
Yeah, so the nominations are Darkin number 1, Sem number 2, and Yuki Bear was the last name mentioned in the chat. So what's your thoughts, Regis? I'll leave this one for you to make the decision.
Ooh, it's really tough, honestly. It's Darkin had a very stellar drive, but Yuki made up so many positions from his starting point. So it's really a case of, do we want to celebrate? Because I mean, it's the first podium for both teams here, as we take a look at our result standings here. But oh, it's so tough.
Well,
I know I said Darkin initially, but just because of how many positions that driver's made, I'm gonna have to give it to Yuki.
okay.
That is my pick.
Well, there you go. Great drive there. But we're going to go through the position. Darkin getting the fastest lap. Yuki Bear taking P2. Lamb taking P3. They are your top three. They got Spry, Roller, Shifty, Dale, One Truth, One to Navy, Limitless Draco, Sem, Dante, Minus Miller, JD Mai, Oscar Pieshko with Matif, Aiden's Raiden, and unfortunately Powertrain and Arcade Gaming were out of this race. So unfortunately Aiden with miss out. Oscar gets the last point of the night. A few reports ready to go, but double header there for Darkin getting the P1 and the fastest lap, and Yuki Bear getting the driver of the day vote. Congratulations to him. We are just waiting for the countdown to drop, and we will be getting on board with some interviews. We're just waiting on Darkin to jump in. But summary of events tonight. I know it's been a long night, but what was your thoughts to the Hungarian race?
A lot more overtaking than I expected, honestly. We saw some really good battles going through. I mean, you just have to look at the last 3 laps from XD Lamp and Yuki Bear to kind of just even get a example of that. But I mean, we had some extremely solid battles. A lot of hard drive. Like we saw Darkin go from P7 all the way back to P1. A very strong and very amazing recovery drive. I mean, Hungary is not a good track, not great for overtaking, but don't tell the people in Div 2 that because they had stellar race when it came to overtaking. Strategy, safety cars, chaos, and some really aggressive moves. That basically sums up Hungary here today.
Yes, it does. That was a fantastic race, unfortunately. So, but yeah, not everyone can get driver of the day. He has got double points, and obviously that was the reasons why Rigas has gone for a different driver. But it is what it is. You're obviously going to get hate mail. So we'll go over to our first interview of the night. XD Lamb, what a night, mate! Qualifying, give us a little bit of an insight to full quality, the first time this season that we've implemented it, and also your race tonight.
Well, so far, the full quality, I loved it. I definitely was nervous for every single one of them, because in the first one, we were going to go out toward the end without a previous run that was sketchy. I stuffed up the first lap, backed off, went again, got to Q2. The same thing happened in Q2, got to Q3. I did my used run in Q3, ended up at the back, and it's like, oh god, here we go. Put on the fresh softs, put it P5. That was something that I don't think I didn't expect. No one engineering us expected, and I'm pretty sure you wouldn't have expected it either. But then the race, oh my god, Darkened was on a different level. I'm great. I'm happy I got ahead of all the chaos at the start, and I'll tell you what, it was nice to battle the old championship rival of last season.
Yeah, that's something that we saw tonight. You know, obviously you runner up last season, and him obviously the champion, and it was great to see. You just we were on board you for a little while. You just didn't have the pace on him. He was just so fast. We're obviously going to talk to him and find out if it's his favourite track, but. Not a bad result. Obviously, Shifty was making his way through the pack as well, and it's one of those tracks. Unfortunately, it is a little bit annoying because you don't want to make the move because you don't want to make the wrong mistakes, and it's a hard one because you want to try and gain as many positions. But in the end of the day, I think it was yourself P3 and Shifty in P8. You got to be happy with those points.
Yep. And fun fact, we actually matched what Div 4 did. I got P3 like Wogjet, and Shifty got P6 like Deadly Fuller. We matched Div 4 tonight.
Well, there you go. And it's early days, isn't it? It's very early days in the league at the moment of how things are going. And also very early days in the season as well. Obviously, next week, Vegas. Very early on this season. How are you feeling around there? Obviously, full quality again, but this time you're going to have lots and lots of opportunities to overtake.
I'm definitely excited for Vegas, considering I missed out on it last season. My AI had a blast there last season, so I'm hoping I'll get to have just as much fun as that. Definitely looking forward to full quality again. I've missed out on it. We've missed it so much. And I'm ready for Vegas.
Okay. Well, appreciate you jumping in, Lamb. As always, we get any comments or any questions for the Williams driver of XD Lamb.
All right, so XD Lamb, congratulations on a podium. So can you just talk us through those last lap battles you were having with Yuki Bear right there? Can you kind of walk us through what was going through your mind as you're battling through these tight corners of Hungary?
We'll start at the 20th lap because that's when it really started to kick off when he overtook me. He got ahead. I sat behind for a few laps, just recharged the battery. I kept on burning down the straights to try to get him in within the DRS zone. Couldn't get him on was it the 24th, 23rd, 24th, or 25th lap. I did try, but he had the pace over me tonight. I was considering a send into turn one. I fought against it. Don't want to have a ticket on me. But overall, the battle with Yuki, I'm excited to have more of him.
Oh yeah, we were having a blast with it up here in the commentary box. But congratulations, a great podium, great result for yourself and the team. And I wish you the best of luck going to Viva Las Vegas.
Thank you, Regis. Have a good night, boys.
See you, Lam.
CSJ.
Okay, right. We'll go over to the Haas driver of Yuki Bear, who has also been crowned the driver of the day by our voting tonight. And obviously, Vegas, I think it's going to get a lot of hate mail from the Ferrari garage, but we'll have to wait and see. But we'll go over to Lamb anyways. We'll go over, just interviewed Lamb, sorry. We'll go over to Yuki and see what he's got to say tonight. Yuki, mate, obviously, full quality, same scenario, same question to Lamb. Back, good to see it back, and obviously in play. And obviously the race tonight, a track which is very difficult to overtake, which we've probably said about 1,000 times now. How did you find it tonight, mate?
Yeah, I really liked it. It's full quality, so I was almost knocked out in Q1, which was a bit scary. 14, one spot away, and then it's good. It's a good bit of fun. It's a bit extra, better than short quality, in my opinion. But and the race, yeah, started 8th, and then didn't pit under the first safety car. And then we got another safety car pit. And then me and Lamb and Darkin all worked our way through the field, and then Darkin just left. He went straight into another race, and then yeah, me and Lamb had a good little battle for second. Pretty fun.
Yeah, it was. It was a really good, great battle. Obviously, very low on ERS Lamb was, but you just unfortunately just didn't have the pace tonight for Darkin. But still good points for Haas. Not been obviously the best of starts for Haas, obviously in the overalls, it's not, but it's all about momentum. Obviously, Vegas is up next week. Plenty of time, plenty of places to overtake there. It's all going to be about straight line speed. How are you finding it? How are you going to feel that you're going to go around there?
Good. I got a bit of confidence. I've got a P3 last season, I believe, and even matched my last season's result here. I got second, and it was pretty much the same, fighting on the last lap, and the P1 had checked out, except it wasn't dark and it was Kauki, so bit of deja vu there for me.
Well,
But
congratulations.
no, I reckon Vegas will be a good race.
Well, congratulations, mate, and congratulations on the DOTD as well. Another extra 2 points as well. So yeah, good on you on that. And I will take you over to Rickus.
Congratulations on a very hard-fought P2 there, Mr. Yuki Bear. So I'm going to ask you the same question that I asked Lamb. So how did you feel battling in those final few laps against the Williams there? It looked extremely intense, and honestly, I wish I had popcorn for it.
It was a bit of fun. I tried to do the same thing I did to Danger last season, which was save ERS through the whole lap, and then on the straight burn down to about 70, 80%, because DRS is not that strong, and then keep it in front and do that lap after lap after lap, and it worked. And going past him was a bit of fun, but I think we only overtook each other one time from what I believe. But no, it was a bit of fun. It was, one mistake though. One mistake, and yeah, it was very tense. One mistake by myself, or one penalty, or anything, it was gonna decide it.
Yeah, it
Especially
was.
in the final lap.
Oh yeah, tightrope margins are essentially the name of the game when it comes to Hungary, and I believe you navigated that tightrope with perfection. Congratulations on P2 and driver of the day, and we will see you in Vegas.
Thank you, boys.
Great job, great job. Right, now we're going to go over to someone that was absolutely phenomenal tonight in quali and on track. Darken, mate, obviously last week, I think I might have talked you up a little bit too much tonight because I did write a little bit of a message in the event, didn't I, to say that will you come back for redemption? And you surely bloody did. I don't know if you've read that message in the event that was posted earlier on today. Obviously, Monza last week, DNF, didn't go to plan. This week, mate, qualifying, obliterating pace in Q3. And obviously, twice red flagged, obviously, once red flagged tonight. And you showed some serious pace out there tonight. Where did that come from?
I just think Hungary's just my best track, and it's probably my favorite track.
Told
I've
you.
always had very good results when it comes to Hungary, and I'm just very confident around the track.
I said that to Regis. I said that to him earlier. I said, I guarantee it's his favourite track. Didn't I say that to you?
You did, and
Yeah,
also it's
there you
in
go.
Discord Div 2 chat.
Right, and I'm going to make this comment because I'm going to. I think I have tonight talked Darken up. I'm just going to find this message very very quickly before I then start to go with my interview with Darken, and he knows where it is because he can probably see it. I'll probably ping you in it as well. So anyway, where is this? Where is this message? Hang on, bear with me. There we go. Right, here it is. There was one driver through that did go missing and maybe could just be a blip. And I'm sure Darkin will bounce back this week at Hungary and knows from winning the championship what it takes to win again. There you go. I've got a crystal ball, ladies and gentlemen. I've got a crystal ball. Mate, what a performance. Did you feel any pressure tonight at all?
I definitely did actually. After the red flag, I got punted into turn one, so I dropped to P9. And then as soon as that safety car came out, and then I decided not to go for the safety car or not to pit under the safety car, I was just thinking I'm going to have to go as quick as I can because I'll have to make up a pit stop pretty much. And luckily for me, and the timing of the next safety car, it just meant that I could stay P1 and then just get the gap I needed without having to fight through the pack and all that. So it worked out in my favor this race as well.
Well, it definitely did, and what a way to bounce back. Did you feel that it just all went wrong last week at Monza, and did you feel that you needed to bounce back this week?
Oh, Monza last week. Well, firstly, I didn't even get to practice for Monza last week because I only found out like last minute that it was Monza weekend. And then I just got into the race, and then there was crashes ahead of me, breaking my front wing, and races are just ruined that way, unfortunately. But I definitely was confident coming into Hungary. I went from last to second last season, so I know I'm confident here, and I know I've got the pace here. So I was feeling pretty good. Practiced all week. Had Campbell in my ear telling me, giving me tips in hot laps and all that. So we've been practicing all week, and yeah, really been trying to get a good result here.
Well, you did. You did. You got an absolute fantastic result. Obviously, some people aren't happy with you, the driver of the day, but you do get maximum points. You did get the 25 plus the fastest laps that push up to 26. And yeah, an absolute fantastic weekend for you and the Ferrari team. But going into Vegas, how are you feeling around that? Is that another track that you like? You feel that because obviously going to give you more opportunity to overtake and also more opportunity for other cars to compete against you and try and overtake you. Unlike tonight, when obviously it's very, very difficult to make those overtakes.
Yeah, I really dislike Vegas for that fact that anyone can just run 0-0 wings and you just stick to other drivers. And with the ERS system, everyone will just go none to like turn into, all of Sector 2 pretty much, and then just burn down the straights. It's less about skill in Vegas, I find. So we'll just have to see. It's not my favorite, so we'll see how it goes.
Well, you can thank me for talking you up tonight, putting that little message out, and absolutely fantastic performance. Just faultless, and great to see. Great to see that you really, coming from Division 3, pushing yourself from Division 2, and you can probably tell from the grid, it's a very, very competitive grid that you're going up against for the remainder of the season.
Yeah, it is actually. I remember in Monza, I think like the top 15 were all within like 2/10 of each other, like 15 drivers. So it's a very, very competitive grid. So it's going to be a very interesting season.
Well, Q3, you were all in the 13s apart from P10.
Yeah, and I remember I think the front three we were like 0.01 with each other. I think Limitless was 0.01, and then it was myself and someone that was just behind.
Yep. And it's just going to be up and
So
down.
it was very close.
It's going to be up and down, like you're saying about Las Vegas, not enjoying it. It could be Sem, could be it could be Shifty, it could be anyone else on that grid's favourite track next week. So, and then you've got to then try and get yourself away through the pack. So, no, congratulations, well done tonight, absolutely faultless. And I'll pass you over to Rekus.
All right, so I just have a few questions. We know pretty much in both the original race and then the restart, you were basically gone with the win. You were basically already in Vegas at that point. When the red flag originally came out for the restart, did you think like, well, crap, there goes my chances, or did you still feel extremely confident that it was just going to go back to being business as usual?
I felt pretty confident. If anything, it was probably good because I already had 2 warnings. So, if anything, it helped me out at the end of the day. But I was still feeling pretty confident.
Awesome. And also, were you still confident that you could climb your way back up through the field after you just got sent on the first lap of the restart?
Yeah, I was confident, but I was pretty scared making moves. I won't lie. Like that, I think I made 2 moves in the left-hander in Sector 2. On a Sector 1, the left-hander and then uphill. That was super dangerous, I felt. But I managed to get 2 moves done there, and it really helped out because I needed to make my way up the grid as quickly as possible, especially after I hadn't pit and half the grid had pit. So moves had to be made quickly.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta risk it for the biscuit, and that's exactly what you did. Sometimes there's calculated risks, but some people are just bad at math. That was not the case for you tonight. Your moves were amazing, and you also had probably easily the best race I've ever seen out of any of the races I've watched you compete in. So, congratulations on P1 and fastest lap, and best of luck to you in Vegas, even though it's your least favorite track.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Nicely done. Okay.
Have a good one.
Oh, sorry. Didn't know if we finished. Well, that's it. That is the end of Division 2. It's been a bit of a long night with the red flag. We do apologise on that. Just a big shout out as well to a few people. Flavio Baldacci, thank you very much for the follow. Also for Panic for the subs. We really appreciate that. Also F1 Alex TTV, thank you very much for the follow, for the hype train all earlier on today. Marzi as well for the subs. Really appreciate that. Rudy Boy 1564, thank you very much. NASCAR Racing 9, thank you very much as well. Kyatonic for the resub, thank you. 15 months. Benja Warrior, thank you very much. Clock and SJ169. We've got Modisto 87 with the raid of 5 party. Thank you very much. Alfonso Alonso, who followed us yesterday. Hearts Navy and Maverick Rickon, One Cop Sticks 2. That's about 3 days ago. But so yeah, thank you very much for all the support later on today and earlier on today. Really appreciate that. Big up as well to our main sponsor, AI369. Feel free to get on board the newsletter and sign the dotted line. If you want any more information, then feel free to check out our sponsor page, and you'll have all the information there regarding what AI369 is all about. Big up also to Pagni and SimLab and Speed Nation. Remember, Speed Nation is only New Zealand only, so if you are a Kiwi, please DM me and I will send you a little code, and it will give you an opportunity to get products across all brands of sim racing gear as well. And Rigus, what a night tonight, mate. Division 2 did not disappoint. Unfortunate with the red flag, but Darken tonight, absolutely faultless. And Vegas looking very, very forward to. And I will be your new commentator for Division 2, my friend, with you.
Awesome. The absolute dream team is coming back for the entirety of Division 2. But yeah, I mean, it's extremely hard for Division 2 to actually disappoint. Division 2 has always had some very solid races. I mean, you had the preseason races, you had the sprint and feature race in Monza, you had this excellent race. I mean, I can definitely tell that tonight was definitely retribution for the calamity Ferrari suffered in their home track. They decided that they were not taking any more of that nonsense, and they probably had one of the best races that I've seen from that Ferrari squad in quite some time. So, really looking forward to Vegas. I know Darkin said it's his least favorite track. It's honestly one of my personal favorite tracks, but Darkin is a far better driver than me, so there's obviously going to be that little mismatch. But overall, we're looking to Vegas. If any predictions pop up, I am gambling all of my channel points away, which is only about like 2,000, but still, it's Vegas. You got to gamble a bit. But yeah, I had a lot of fun tonight. And yeah, I'll see everybody next time out in Las Vegas.
Yes, you will, especially for Division 2. But we've still got more action tomorrow night with Division 5, where you'll be joined in the comms box by Edge and with Matif. I'm sure it'll be a very, very interesting night ahead. Some battles going on already, and rivalries really starting to form. And then on Tuesday, we have Division 6. It's been very impressive so far. It's had a lot of support. Some serious battles going on, especially Iraq Lobster. He looks like the one to watch out for at the moment. But the two McLarens as well will push him all the way. And also the Mercedes of Edge. He was very, very close, made a few mistakes, but it's a long, long season. And then obviously on Wednesday night, you'll be joined in the comms box with myself or Panic or Dynasty for the last race of the week before we get on board with Division 1 next week at Vegas. So thank you very much for tuning in. As always, feel free to get on board all of our socials, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, Discord, Instagram, and also the biggest one is the Discord. If you fancy and you want to get involved and you want to be racing on the track with these phenomenal drivers and great people, then feel free to jump on board the Discord link. We've had a lot of people join. I think there's about 9 people joined since we were streaming from today. So really good to see. Really good to see the support. Leave you a quote before we go. The man is back with redemption. Monza did not go to plan for the Forza Ferrari team, but it definitely did in Hungary. Will it go the same again in Vegas? He said no. We'll have to wait and see. Good night.